Hi guys, it's me again. I thought I'd just continue on with my videos. The house is kind of quiet right now and everyone's kind of doing their own thing. It's New Year's Eve day, so we'll be having a busy night. We have company and dinner planned. So I thought I'd make some more videos and just keep going on the same trend that I'm going. But we're just going to talk a little bit about substitutions that you can do when, if you're like me and your family doesn't eat the way you eat, that you can still cook healthy and substitute something for yourself and still eat healthy without having to cook all the time. Now I'll give some tips. Sorry, I'm uncomfortable. My cats are all sitting on me. For me, I shop at Costco and buy all my bulk meats and things like that. And like I've mentioned before, I come home, after I've separated, I cook up large batches of the ground beef, the ground turkey, and things like that to throw it in the freezer. And I separate my portioned out my chicken, so say I'll portion out 3 pieces for myself that I would have over the next couple days instead of like a bag of 6, because I sometimes get bored of the same thing. So it just gives me, I can make that chicken up and I'll have a piece today and maybe a piece in 2 days or something like that. And it's nice to have it on hand when you're in a bind. You can throw your lunch together and get to work and then make sure you're getting something healthy, and that is so important. Prep work is so important. I will take all my fruits and vegetables once I'm home, and everything comes out of the containers. It gets washed and dried and put back in the containers, and make sure you use some paper towel to absorb that extra water, but then it's ready. So if I'm starving and I'm cooking something, in the meantime, I could grab a handful of grapes, which we know I don't really eat fruit, but it's a great option to do instead of grabbing a handful of crackers or chips or my kids' crap for their lunch that they would have, right? So those are just quick. If you have it ready, you would tend to eat it rather than, oh, I gotta wash it. And a lot of us, we don't have a lot of time. I work 55 hours a week. And then of course, by the time I'm done work, I'm still working with my children with the homework and suppers and, getting everything. It's just nonstop. So I do a lot of my prep on Sundays. I meal plan on a Friday, and we can go over that. And basically my meal plan is I write out every day of the week. I don't do the weekends as much because it's very much fly by the seat of our pants, whatever my hubby feels like. So from Monday to Friday, I'm writing out. So say we can do today. Today we're having roast beef, corn on the cob, and cabbage salad. I will eat everything but the corn on the cob, so I will just make an extra vegetable for myself. Tomorrow I'm going to make sauerkraut and ribs. That's something that I will totally eat and probably throw in another green vegetable. And so where am I? Monday. So then Tuesday I was thinking of making spaghetti and meatballs. My whole family loves that. I love it, but I don't eat pasta. I've never been a pasta lover. Not to say that if we didn't go to a restaurant or go somewhere and they have pasta, I'm not going to not eat it. This is something that you need to be aware. Besides the fact that you are clean eating and working towards a healthy goal, one bad meal is not going to derail your progress. But don't get it in your head that it's a cheat. It's not a cheat. This is a lifestyle that you want to live. You want to eat healthy and make smart choices at least, 90% of the time. We're all going to fall off the wagon. We're all going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to have a piece of chocolate. I might have that greasy burger that I probably don't want to have. I'm going to feel terrible after, but I'm not going to feel bad. It's life. I'm human. I'm going to live it. But I'm not going to say to myself every week, oh, today's Friday, I'm going to have pizza. I don't do it like that. I eat healthy all the time. If something comes up, it comes up. That's life, right? But I don't dwell on those, those things and those choices that I've made. I move forward next day. And that's how you have to be when you're clean eating and eating healthy. And just in general, when you go, my family, we love to eat out. So when we go out, I make a smart decision. If, if I've felt that I've worked hard these last 21 days, I've worked so hard. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, you know what, maybe I want a piece of chocolate after supper. I'm going to have it. It's not going to be the end of the world. I'm not going to have 5 pieces. I'll have 1, and that's enough. Same with if my husband says, let's order in Boston pizza, which we do a lot, actually. I always get a salad because I love their salads. And I get a piece of grilled chicken on the side. Totally healthy, totally awesome. If you really feel like you need to have something, have it. It's not the end of the world. You get back on the horse, tomorrow's a new day, and you're eating clean, you're eating healthy. It's really not the end of the world, but you can't use that excuse all the time that it's a cheat. There's no cheat meals. I don't do cheat meals, nothing. There is no cheat. This is my life, this is my lifestyle. If I had a rough day, I was at a party and there wasn't anything that I could eat and I couldn't eat beforehand, so be it. That's going to happen. You move forward. Now, I'm totally off topic from what I was talking about, but those are just some of the tips. I think I was talking about meal prep. Okay, So yeah, then meal prep. So we're having spaghetti and meatballs in a couple of days. So I'm going to make my meatballs homemade and my sauce homemade, and the sauce is from the tomatoes from my garden that I froze. So that's great. I know what's in it. I can control the amount of salt and crap, as I call it, that's in it. I don't eat pasta, but I have this wonderful little invention that I learned about 5 years ago. It's called a spiralizer. Mine is about this big. You stick your vegetable into it, mine will be zucchini, and you just twist, and it brings out noodles. It's almost like cooked spaghetti noodles, but obviously not spaghetti, they're green. And then I don't like them raw, so I will saute them in a little olive oil with some fresh garlic. I don't ever buy that whatever, crushed garlic. Just get some fresh garlic cloves. They sit on my counter for like a month, chop them up and go. It's quick and easy. So I will saute up my whole zucchini that I've spiralized and throw my sauce and meatballs on that. So I'm getting spaghetti meatballs, but a healthier version. The spiralizer also, I think I got mine at Bed Bath & Beyond for $10. It's great to spiralize anything. I spiralize cucumbers and carrots, and it's nice and fresh to have a different looking veggie in my salad. So those are great options. Now, when I make chili for my family, I don't eat brown beans, but my family loves brown beans. I will save some of the meat that I use for chili. So when I make a batch for my family, I'll reserve some meat for myself. Usually it's ground beef or ground turkey, along with my fresh tomatoes and my spices. I will put in kidney beans and black beans. And mentioned before, I don't eat a lot of that, but such a nice treat. Also, you can throw in a handful of quinoa. Oh, so great. So, I mean, those are the healthier versions of the foods you can eat. Hamburger soup is a fantastic one that everybody can eat. It's just fresh tomatoes, ground beef, carrots, celery, onions, and lots of spices, and water. You need water in there as well. I mean, I'll post the recipe, and just boil it up. Everybody can eat that. Another great recipe, I have a ton, it's called unstuffed cabbage rolls, and this was one I eat all the time for clean eating. I don't do a whole head of cabbage because it's just for me, so I would just do some green cabbage cut up into little squares, ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken, whatever you prefer, your fresh tomatoes or canned tomatoes. Try to stay away from the salt. I think that's it. I'm trying to remember. I usually put carrot in there too, some salt and pepper and spices, and cook it up. Now, if you're doing it for your family, you could throw in some rice, but once again, we talked about that. I don't eat that. So those are some great options for healthy foods. But one of the things I learned is I search up on Pinterest a lot, and what I search for is paleo, gluten-free, or vegan recipes. I am none of those things, but those recipes tend to be way healthier than your normal recipes. So when I go through and I look for my quinoa chili recipe, and I look for more of a vegan type one, and a lot of them have quinoa, I can kind of follow what they're doing because I'm not a recipe person. I follow what they're doing and tweak it to my liking. And that's how I find so many recipes, because it's more on the healthier side. So it's just easier to find them and tweak them to how you like them. And that's kind of how I do things. My meal prep usually on a Sunday is I will cook a ton of vegetables ahead of time, or if I've meal planned out what I'm going to eat. Same with my cucumbers and stuff. Get it all ready so I can just toss it in my salad and go. Same thing, is cooking up my protein after I get back from Costco, even cooking up some chicken and then just refreezing your chicken breast. So easy to pull a piece out in the morning, and if you've already even pre-chopped it, it's even easier, and I tend to do that. So I'll cook up a bunch of chicken breasts. Once they're cooled, I chop them and portion them into bags, throw them in the freezer. So then if I had a lunch out, which I picnic a lot with the children in the summer, I grab my little freezer bag of my chicken, have my salad. If I use dressings, it's usually balsamic vinegar. Throw it all in a cooler. By the time I get there, I just toss it together, shake it, and I'm eating my healthy lunch while the kids are having their sandwiches. And so those are great ways, excuse me, to get in your healthy food and eat healthy, is prep ahead of time. Sorry. Dry throat. But those are great things to do to prep. And I'm going to give you a great recipe for overnight oats. Is my favorite. Real quick, I'm going to put this up here before I cut this video short because it's getting long. I learned about overnight oats. I'm not a huge oatmeal person, and I sometimes find it slimy. Overnight oats, simple. Buy your large flake oats, steel cut oats, and it's equal parts oats to equal parts dairy. So I would do 1 cup steel cut oats, 1 cup unsweetened almond milk. You can add your sweeteners to it. I don't. I put it in a container, stir it up, leave it in the fridge overnight. In the morning, dump it in a bowl. And then what I do is I like to warm it up. Some people like it cold, I like it warm. So I warm it up, I don't know, we'll say 30 seconds. Then it's unlimited. You can squirt some honey on it if you so desire, melt some peanut butter and put it on, and then I chop tons of fruit and nuts and just dump it in there. Hearty, healthy, awesome, awesome breakfast. I try to stay away from eating that all the time, like I've mentioned with the grain, but it is a great, easy, fast breakfast. And if you know you're going to be out the door, I would warm it up, throw my fruit in it, put the lid back on, get the kids out the door, take it to work and eat it at work, or warm it up at work. It's so easy. Put your fruit in a container, have your oats ready, get to work, warm it up. I'm not a big person for putting a lot of honey and things like that on mine. That's a preference. But a little bit of melted peanut butter, almond butter is really, really nice. I try to stick to the peanut butter that's natural without the added sugars, and that's something you need to look on the labels and watch for.